This is the CBS Evening News, and this is Bob Schieffer reporting. Good evening. Well, sources say they are going to let her skate. The U.S. Olympic Committee, according to a variety of sources this afternoon, has decided to allow Tonya Harding to skate in the Olympics and will wait until after the Games to decide whether she should be disciplined in connection with the attack on her skating rival Nancy Kerrigan. So Tonya Harding apparently is going to be a member of the U.S. Olympic team. This decision was apparently made sometime this afternoon. We're expecting a news conference in just a little while to get some of the details. Mark Phillips is standing by in Lillehammer with the latest. Mark, what is this deal that we believe that the Olympic Committee has come up with?
Well, we are waiting here for details of the deal. The USOC is supposed to speak in a matter of a couple of minutes, actually. But it seems that finally the attention, the international attention that this case has drawn, the embarrassment really, and in fact the complaints of many other American athletes who are worried that this is distracting from everything else here at these Olympic Games, have forced both the USOC and the Harding camps together to the point where, yes, indeed, she will be coming here and she will be skating at these games. And as you said, if there is any recompense to be had afterwards, then that's when it'll happen. So far, there are not really very many details. We're waiting. There's going to be a news conference, we're told, in a matter of minutes. When that news conference begins there in Lillehammer, of course, we'll bring that to you. Mark, what do you think the impact on all of this is going to be on the other members of the Olympic team? Well, I think the intent is to remove this cloud, if you will, of embarrassment away from the U.S. team and to get on with the games here. But, of course, having both Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan here, sharing practice time, which they will do because of the rules here, and competing against one or another really kind of transforms this legal drama right onto the ice. So we can look forward to an extremely dramatic confrontation, athletic, one hopes, here at these games.
Now, there was some talk that they might reschedule those practice times so they would not have to be on the ice at the same time. But if I heard what you said, that some of the time they will be together practicing.
The standard procedure is that athletes from the same team share the same ice time. There was an appeal made by the USOC to try to get that changed under these rather extraordinary circumstances. That appeal was denied. Athletes from the same country skate at the same time, and that's what we're going to see here.
Okay, Mark, now we may come back to you if this news conference ever does get officially underway. Perhaps you can give us more details. And let's go now out to Tonya Harding's hometown, Portland, Oregon, where she is. And for the latest there, we'll talk and bring in Richard Roth. Richard?
Bob, lawyers from both sides were in court this afternoon meeting with Clackamas County Judge Patrick Gilroy and seeking his approval, reportedly, of the agreement that would end this dispute. Now, as you know, yesterday the judge heard their arguments in court, and then he echoed the sentiments that almost everyone who's been in any way involved in this has. He said that the issues are difficult and particularly difficult to resolve instantaneously. He asked the lawyers to go back to their clients and see if over the weekend there wasn't a way that they could work this out, and apparently that gave them the impetus to do exactly that. Now, if the agreement is as it's described and that Tonya Harding gets an opportunity to skate and an opportunity is given to the Olympic Committee later to have its hearing and perhaps discipline her if necessary, that's going to be described as a compromise, but it seems it's clearly going to also be considered by Tonya Harding and her lawyers to be their first Olympic victory.
Well, I don't think it could be anything else, because this is precisely what her lawyers have been asking, isn't it, Richard? If the deal is what we think it is, and that is she skates now, then the hearing comes later. If it's determined that she's had some part in this attack on Nancy Kerrigan, then the committee would decide whether or not to punish her.
Well, exactly. That was one of the central arguments of her lawyer, that if she is held accountable by the committee before she skates, if she's held up for a disciplinary hearing before, and if they act, and if she's kept from skating, there is no way, if she's later found innocent in a court of law, or if she's later found not to be liable to some kind of disciplinary action, there's no way that the damage can be repaired. On the other hand, if she skates and is then later found to be liable to some kind of disciplinary action or criminal action, the medal could always, if she wins one, could always be taken away.
Have you had any contact with her today, Richard, or any of the reporters there?
I haven't, but some of our colleagues here in the KOIN TV newsroom have. They called her at her home a short time ago, and we're told, she said, I can't stay on the phone because I'm expecting a very important call.
Well, we know what the one is she's hoping for anyway, don't we? All right, Richard, we'll come back to you, too, if we have late word on this to see if there are any developments there. Lest it should be overlooked in all of this, or should not be overlooked, We ought to report for the record that this is the day the Olympic Games actually got underway.